facing the arm. And you can do these in a few different positions. So your easiest position would be sitting down with your feet underneath the arm. Your second position would be kneeling. And you can go back as far as it feels okay for you. Most of the time you want to be so that your feet are near the back. And when you're kneeling, you're actually trying to squeeze your thighs into that motor and pull everything up from that low pelvic floor through the crown of the head, okay? The other position you can do with these is standing. So you can stand up on top with one foot in front of the other, with the feet slightly out to the sides. You could try to stand with the feet more parallel like a balance beam. Some people, I'm not very good at this one, but some people can even stand in a narrow V, wrapping their toes down around the sides. So I'm going to demonstrate in that kneeling position, and there will be one more position too. That's an option for some of them, which would be a lunge where your foot's hanging off the back with the shin of the same leg on the roller part, and your other foot is bent with the knee over the ankle. So I'll demonstrate that one for a couple, but most of them I'll demonstrate kneeling. All right, so the first one I'm going to start with is kneeling here, facing the arm. I'm going to grab his straps, and I'm going to start with my palms up, and I'm going to raise my arms up to shoulder height, and then I'm just going to curl that in and out. I am squeezing my belly to my spine, lifting everything from my pelvic floor up to the crown of my head, trying to grow taller, especially as I'm curling here. Now, if that's too hard, you can lower the arms and do the same thing with the arms a little bit lower. You could do them halfway out or all the way down, whatever feels good for you. Then you can also do those with the thumbs up, so you're doing more of a hammer curl. And again, if it's too hard up at shoulder height, keeping the shoulders down and the elbows still, you can always lower that down a little bit to wherever your challenge point is. Okay, then with the palms up and the arms low, you could also do little teeny tiny curls. On these, you're really trying to contract the biceps as much as you can, and then just working really low, little tiny fast pulses. You can also do it one arm at a time on these. So you could curl one as the other one stays still, alternating arms, or doing one then the other. You also could switch between your hammer and your standard curls. And again, you could do that with a single arm, doing all one and then the other, or alternating each time. Let's see. Then you can do a 90-degree bend. So this is going to get more into your shoulders. And a 90-degree bend is up at shoulder height. So we're going to be up here. Okay, the palms can actually, there we go, the palms can face out. And then you're going to lower those elbows into the ribs and then right back up. So you're in what we would call a goal post. Now you could hold it up and flip the palms down, flip the fingertips up. So fingertips face away from you, fingertips face to the ceiling. Working into that rotator cuff and deltoids there. Then you can do a 90-degree bend again. So rather than your goalpost, you're going to bring that into here and do little pulses up and down, or bring it down and up, going into that full range of motion. You're not going to go all the way down just because that feels a little awkward. And then, let's see, you can switch between a tricep and a bicep. So triceps will come next, but the way to do that would be one arm faces to the back of the room, the other arm comes up at shoulder height. As the shoulder height arm bends in, the other one presses back. Bring both arms out, flip the palms, and do the other side. And if that switch is too much, you could just do all one side and then all the other, but the switch is kind of fun. I like it. Okay, so that's your shoulders and your biceps. Then you're gonna hinge forward with the palms facing back away from you. So my chest is still lifted. I'm not like sinking back towards my heels. My hips are over my knees as much as possible, keeping the chest elevated, gazing about a foot in front of you. From here, you're gonna bend and extend. The higher that you can get the elbows, the more you're going to feel this in the back of that upper arm. You can also flip your grip on this so that the pinky or the palms face in towards your hips, and then bend that in and out. Bend and extend, same exact movement, just changing the grip. Then you could flip between the two. So go back and in, flip the grip, elbows high, go out and in. Flip the grip, press back and bend. Flip the grip, press back and bend. You could do, again, single arms, alternating or all one side then the other. You can also do holding the arms back there and just rotate so that you're going from the palms up to the palms in, trying to rotate through that upper arm. With the arms extended, you also can just do little pulses back, keeping the chest open and working through the upper part of that arm. And you could do a squeeze in. So you could press back, squeeze in, and in, and in, and in. And you could do a combo of up and in, up and in, up and in. Flip the grip, you can do the same things. Ups, squeezes, up and squeeze, up and squeeze. So lots of different variations just by playing with the movement on those. And if you just want it simple, just pick one and do that one. Okay, then staying in that forward lean, but we're gonna cross the straps and go into a row. So there's a few different options here. You can just take those arms and bend them back so that you're staying at about mid-torso height here. So squeezing back and forward, back and forward. You can take it higher so that you're squeezing all the way up to shoulder height. Or you can try to hold it really low, getting into the lowest part of the shoulder blades. You can do a combo where you go low, go mid, go high, go mid, go low, and then go back up again. So starting low, working to high, going back to low, and going back up again. Then, let's see, you could alternate arms. So you do one and then the other. And on these, just really make sure that you're feeling it behind the shoulder blades and not up into the traps or the tops of the shoulders. We already had exercises for the tops of the shoulders, so you don't need to do more. Okay, then You could add a rotation on these. So I would stand up a little bit, well, kneel up a little bit taller here, and face the palms towards each other. Pull one arm back, let the gaze follow, and then bring it forward. Pull it back and forward. And I corrected myself there because I really want to cock my right wrist. So I'm trying really, really hard to not do that. So you want to keep the wrist in alignment with the elbow and make that rotation come from the rib cage, not allowing the hips to go with you. That would be bad, okay? So let those straps come back in when you're done. And you can, if it's getting to be too much on your knees, you can always just sit back for a second to take that pressure off the knees. I like having a mat underneath for these just because it gives you that added cushion. Okay. Then the next one I have before we turn around and face the other way is kind of like a chest expansion. So for this one, I'm going to start with it kneeling and then I'm going to change it to standing. So from here, all you're going to do is press the arms back, bring them forward, press them back and forward. I am kneeling up right now, shoulders over the hips, hips over the knees. Then you can press back and hold, look to the right, look to the left, look center, and return the arms forward. Pulling back, looking left, then right, then center, and forward. And you would keep alternating directions with that head turn each time. You can add on to that by pulling back, hinging back, letting the arms come up, bringing the body up. You probably want a little bit more weight for that one so that it can help you to come back up. Okay, then the last one there is to pull the arms back, lower your seat down, lead up with the pelvis, return the arms forward, getting a little bit of thigh work in there. Lower, lift, and forward. Arms go back, lower, lift, and forward. And that lower and lift is all coming from the pelvis, okay? So then the last thing I'm going to show you here, standing up, pulling the straps back, and I'm going to do it standing so that the roller's in between my feet. And then I'm actually going to lift up my heels and lower my heels, getting a little calf work in there as I press those straps back and up. You could hold the heel lift and do your head turns, or you could keep the heels down if you don't have the balance to do that with the heels lifted. And then I'm just going to walk the straps all the way back in and let them come down.